universal applicability. But for me, whether at the local or at the central administration, we must have a situation where the governor or the president must be an elected member of parliament, so that during presidential parliamentary question, it is the president that is speaking. And the same thing for the governor. Because like I said, I've been governor. You can be governor for 4 years without talking to anybody. Nobody cares, because you have arrays of aides. You've seen where a governor will have 1,000 SAs, special assistants. So they're all over the place. But they become such a nuisance that nobody will want to talk to the governor. Because once you speak, that's it. So, but if we have a parliamentary system, people can question it. If we have a system where the governor or president is answerable to people, you can. So the only way now you can, the way it is now in Nigeria, people can do the right thing, that you have chosen to do the right thing. If not, it's impossible. You are just in charge. All the money, anything, you use it as you like. If I want to travel to America with 15 people, nobody will ask me the question.
And so, Mr. Peter Obi, a well-respected businessman, stormed Harvard Law School in Boston, USA, where he engaged in an interactive lecture. He also spoke a lot about pressing issues facing Africa, and he also engaged with Nigerians and other Africans in the diaspora. He embarked on thank you tour outside the country. You guys know he was on thank you tour within the northern area in Nigeria. And now he is outside the country doing thank you tour just to appreciate all those in diasporas who came down to Nigeria to vote him and Dati Baba Ahmed. So guys, I will just allow you to watch this video and listen to him as he speaks. Please leave a comment, like, and subscribe if you are new to Gist Estate. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.
I want to go with them. If I want to travel to Abuja with 50 people, nobody will ask me as a governor. I had that experience as governor, where I get up in the morning, the number of people traveling with me are 30. And we're going to Abuja. It was only me trying to cut costs that I looked at everything. I'm the only person invited to the meeting. So what is it for them 29 people going with me? So what do we do? We pay for them. They go to the airport, consult a nuisance to the traveling public, because that's what you get. And then they go to Abuja, stay in hotel. They're not attending the meeting, but we have to pay for their feeding and everything for staying in hotel. I will pay them allowance. That was a lesson. So, but if we have a system where the people can question and everything, you can start cutting all this cost. So for me, the parliamentary system, or whatever system we are doing, must be local. And we do not think it will be solved by even our foreign partners. They too have their own interests. It needs to be local. The people must be trained. And that is where the role of the youth, not even so, are critical. Because with the knowledge they have today, with the exposure they have today, they are beginning to question, this is wrong, this is right. Otherwise, it won't work. The institutions have been hijacked by us who are politicians. As fairly in terms of destiny is California. Because in terms of GDP, it's about 4 trillion. But if Governor of California today is seen in a 6-car convoy, I don't think he will last. He will be there in office the next day. In Nigeria, you will have 20 and 20 for the wife. And then the children will be moving with similar situation. And nobody cares. There is no governor's lodge in Washington. I've had a friend, had a relation with 2 governors here. And I asked them, where is your lodge? They have no lodge in Washington. If you have a meeting in Washington, you pay for hotel. In Nigeria, I have to have a huge lodge in Washington, which I pay millions of naira to keep hundreds of people doing nothing except that I have to have a lodge. And when you shut it down, like when I shut my own down, people say, oh, but every state have lodge there. There's no state that have got presidential lodge in the state. Every state in Nigeria have presidential lodge. The president doesn't live in our state. But we build a home, maintain it in case if the president comes. And for 8 years I was there, the president only came once. But I have to keep a house for him. And this is because it is not a true federal system where you can say, no, this can happen in my state. This can happen in my state. When President Obasanjo wanted to come, I said, I have no lodge. He became a thank God, eventually. I said, you can come in the morning and go in the evening. You're the president of the country. You don't need to sleep in Anambra State. Because you don't have a place for you to sleep. And these are what is happening. And if the president is coming, you're expected to host him, host a big dinner that will cost you millions of money, do all sorts of things. And when you're not doing it, you're like, oh, we cannot do this. Oh, you don't. So, a subnational state does not actually exist in Nigeria. You have to be pushing, quarreling with everybody, doing this and all that and all that. And you have no protection because people are saying you're not serious, you're not doing what other people are doing. So it's actually a difficult thing until we have true federalism. And that's why people are talking about restructuring the constitution, having people's constitution where the subnational state can go on their own and be able to do things they want to do without referring to collect their own revenue, spend it the way they want, and people provide security and all that and all. And if you do it, it'll be more effective because you have competition and everything like it's happening here.
Thank you very much for that.
The end is empowering the youth. If you are the elites who live off the confusion, are you going to empower the people who are going to chase you out of it? No. So the youth have to work hard to take it over. That's why I told those who are following me that we're not in a sprint race. Don't think these people are going to go away. When you bring a change, you have for enemy all those who live off the old order. They're not going to allow you to just come and take so they can go away. No. If they do that, then they're finished. Because they don't want to go away. So we need to work hard. The youth all over Africa. You've seen now where people are in government in Africa for 30 years, 40 years. You think they're going to go? Some of them are even trying to hand over to their children. They're not going to go away. It is for the youth to insist they have to go. You have a situation where people are now walking, virtually being carried in a wheelchair unless they want to be in charge. You know, have a president, people are doctoring their age and everything to continue being there. So it is something we, the youth, need to. And the youth should do so coming together, knowing fully well that these people do not represent anything. Like I said before, they are the ones who are preaching religion or tribe. But it's for their own benefit. Everywhere in the world, the youth are agitated in Tiananmen Square in China. The youth are agitated everywhere in the world. Because it's about them, it's about their future. When I talk about borrowing now in Africa, most of the monies that are being borrowed today are not going to be paid in my own time. Nigeria is now issuing bonds of 2050, 2060. We'll be gone by then. It's the youth that are going to pay it. So it's for that now to say, well, listen, Tell us what you're using this money for. Because if the money is productive, they'll enjoy the benefit. If it's not productive, they're going to pay for it. If the youth have been agitating, by youth Nigeria won't be where we are. There was a time we had what we call excess crude money. We had a minister, Kojiwala, begging the entire country through the governors. Can go and read in his book called Fighting Corruption is Dangerous. He was crying, begging for us to save this money for the future. Everybody, I was in government, we all governors, we insisted it must be shared immediately. And it was shared. If that money was there today, I can tell you it would have been a different country. But because the youth themselves